Hi there, this is Harry and welcome back to Advanced English Lessons with Harry, where I try to help you to get a better understanding of the English language. I try to help you to understand grammar, phrasal verbs, vocabulary, anything that you need to help you to speak better, to communicate better. Well, then we're here to help. And as always, you know the drill. If you need to contact me after this particular lesson, then indeed you can do so. www.englishlessonviaskype.com. Very happy to give you some additional examples or additional explanation of the particular lesson or any point in that particular lesson. Okay, let's get back to the lesson. Talking about lessons, today's lesson is an advanced English lesson looking at collocations to describe positive emotions and feelings. So positive emotions and feelings. We've got 8 of these collocations, so I'll go through them with you and I'll give you a situation when you might use them. Okay, let's get started. So, number 1, to have a great sense of achievement. Well, when we have a sense of achievement or a great sense of achievement, it's usually when we've done something successful, something that was probably difficult, something that we probably thought we would struggle at, or indeed that we might not even complete at all. So a great sense of achievement can be when you complete the marathon. If it's your first marathon, when you look back 6 or 8 months ago when you started training, it was a long time and you had to build up slowly and you went through some pain. Perhaps you had a little bit of an injury or something like that. And then when the day finally comes, you start the race, you get through the halfway mark, you get past that famous wall that people hit from time to time, and then you cross the line and you've achieved a reasonable time that you're happy with, so you have a great sense of achievement. Okay, so this is a prime example of when you might use that, a great sense of achievement. So if you're writing a note to your friends and they're asking you, well, how did you feel when you completed the race? Oh, there was a great sense of achievement finishing it. Okay, my time wasn't what I thought it might be, but it was my first marathon, and I think I'll do another one just to prove a point. So a great sense of achievement. Number 2, a very strong sense of purpose. What does this mean and how do we use it? Well, usually when we're talking about a strong sense of purpose, it means that somebody has thought about what they have to do, a particular job or project, and they really know how to do it and how and when they're going to finish. So perhaps if you're carrying out an annual review of one of your reporting lines, you might describe the person, him or her, as having a strong sense of purpose about their work. So when you give them a particular project to do, they ask the right questions, they know how you want it done, they know when to start, and more importantly, when it has to be finished. So when you're writing the review, you say, this person is really dedicated to their work. What I like about them most is that at any task that you give them, they do it with a strong sense of purpose. They know exactly what they want to do and how to do it, a strong sense of purpose. Number 3, to heave a sigh of relief. When we heave, we take a very deep breath. To heave a sigh of relief. And we heave a sigh of relief in many situations when we've done something that we didn't expect to do. Whew, that's over, that's finished. Or when we're a little bit nervous and perhaps before a presentation, perhaps before some public speaking, if your daughter's getting married and you have to make a speech at the wedding, or one of the staff members is leaving and you have to make a presentation, or indeed you have to make a big presentation to the board or the management, and you're a little bit nervous. When it's over, you have a sense of relief and you heave a sigh of relief. Thank God for that. I don't have to do that again. So many times when we've achieved something, we were worrying about it for several days or even weeks before the event. And then when it's over, we heave a sigh of relief. I know I used to do this all the time. I had a lot of practice at public speaking, but as it gets closer to the day and the date, you're always a little bit nervous, not quite sure that everything's going to work out as well as you might think. And when it's over, you heave a sigh of relief. Number 4, to feel a shiver down your spine. Well, I'm sure you've all felt that just the same as I do. You're sitting there and you go, oh, a shiver down your spine. That's usually a nervous expectation. Perhaps you're waiting to make a speech again, as we said before, and you just feel that little bit of nervousness before, or perhaps it's the few minutes before you go in for a job interview and you have a little bit of a shiver down your spine, that nervous expectation. It's really something to get you in the mood, and you say, right, this is it. I've got to go in there and I've got to really, really show them that I'm the one that can do this particular job. So you get that shiver down your spine. So usually the shiver is a nervous little twitch that you might have, but it's a sense there that tells you that, yeah, you've got to get into the interview mode if it's for an interview, or a speech mode if it's a speech you have to give, or indeed you could even be getting ready to propose marriage to your partner. So you're really feeling a little bit on edge, a little bit nervous, and you get that little shiver down your spine. It's just something to let you know that, yeah, your nerves are taking over a little bit, and you just have to have a deep breath and control it a little bit. So that little shiver down your spine. Number 5, to feel a surge of adrenaline. Well, we've all had that. Sometimes they refer to it as the adrenaline rush, particularly if you're involved in those really high sports where there's a lot of high risk involved with them. It could be snowboarding or skiing or kayaking or hang gliding, whatever it happens to be, mountain climbing. You get that adrenaline rush before you start or midway through your particular journey. So there's a surge. A surge is a sudden rise in the adrenaline. So to feel a surge of adrenaline is perhaps what you need just to give you that final little push. Running the marathon, you need that little kick at the halfway stage, so you kick on so that you can achieve the time that you want to. Or indeed, if you're skiing and you're skiing downhill and you come across a little bit of an icy patch, you get a surge of adrenaline when you feel the skis sliding over that ice at the beginning, and then you get more control as you head on down the piste. Okay, so this is the surge, the sudden increase in your heart rate. The adrenaline starts to pump around your body a little bit, and you focus that little bit more. You might be a little bit tense, but it gets you through it. So a surge of adrenaline. And the similar way, number 6 is a burst of energy. Well, a burst of energy is a sudden, sharp bit of energy. You might not have the energy all of the time, and it's not something that's constant, but a burst of energy is something that gets you through. Okay, so perhaps you're sitting around, it's a lazy sort of day during the holiday or the weekend, and then suddenly you feel, okay, I know what I'll do. I'm going to wash the car. Okay, so you jump up, you grab the bucket, you grab the hose pipe, you connect it, you go out and you get the car cleaned in an hour, and it's shining bright. And when your partner comes back to say, wow, what happened to you? You said, I had a sudden burst of energy. I was sitting here and being a bit lazy, so I just decided to do something. In the same way, you might just grab the vacuum cleaner and hoover the house. You might grab the iron and the ironing board and iron the clothes that are there. So you can, it's not massive energy needed, but it gets you out of that feeling of a little bit laziness. You say, yeah, I had a sudden burst of energy and off I went. Or indeed, if you're watching a football match, when maybe the kids are playing a match for the school or in the local park, and then the match is just sort of going along at a nice pace, and then suddenly one of the players has a burst of energy and takes the ball through 2 or 3 of the opposition and scores a great goal, a cracking goal, and the team wins. So that sudden burst of energy is just what they needed to get the upper hand. Okay, so a burst or a sudden burst of energy. Number 7, to be in a state of euphoria. Well, when somebody is in a state of euphoria, they're in a very high state of excitement, and it's usually because something important has happened. So they're in a state of euphoria because they got that promotion that perhaps they were expecting, but you never know until the boss calls you in or you get the letter to say, yeah, the job is yours, the promotion is yours, congratulations, well done. So for the rest of that day, or indeed that week or month, you're in a state of euphoria. Or perhaps you're boyfriend, girlfriend have proposed to you, and you're in a state of euphoria because you're really looking forward to the wedding. It's going to change your life forever, so you're in a state of euphoria. Or you've bought your first house and you're getting ready to move in with your life partner. It's not necessarily the house of your dreams, because perhaps you'll move 2 or 3 times, but that first house is really, really important. It's the first step on that property ladder. So you've looked at the plans, you've got the keys, you have an idea in your mind exactly how you want to decorate it or how you're going to do the interior decoration. So you're in a state of euphoria for a long, long period of time because you're really eager to get going. As soon as you get the keys, you can't wait to get inside. You open the door, you close and say, yeah, this is our castle, this is our home, nobody else can come in here. Okay, so a state of euphoria, high state of excitement. And then finally, something was sheer bliss. So we often use this to describe a moment or a situation that really it would be very hard to beat. So perhaps you go away on a very luxurious holiday. You've been on many holidays for many years, but nothing quite like this. So maybe you go on that first cruise, you weren't quite sure what to expect. So you get on the plane and you fly to Barcelona or you fly to Marseille, and you pick up the cruise, you cruise around the Mediterranean, and then you fly home. And when you get home, your friends say, well, what was it like? Oh, sheer bliss. Everything about it. I mean, from the moment we got on there, we were treated like royalty. The cabin was really, really beautiful. I mean, a lovely view from the window over the Mediterranean. There was a choice of 6, 7 restaurants. You could have different food every night, 3 swimming pools, gala performances in the evening time. I mean, there was absolutely everything you want. It was like being in a city. So you describe that particular holiday, that holiday cruise, as sheer bliss. It could even be something as simple as a long, long soak in the hot bath. So perhaps you've been working in your garden or you've been stressed. So all you want is just to go into the bathroom, slip into that warm water and relax there for half an hour, 45 minutes. And when you come out, sheer bliss, real heaven. It's like having a massage. So you really feel good. Okay, so these are all different ways, advanced collocations, how we can describe positive feelings and positive emotions. So let me give them to you one more time very quickly. To have a sense or a great sense of achievement when you've done something you didn't expect to do. A very strong sense of purpose, a determination about you. To heave a sigh of relief when something is over, something that made you a little bit nervous. You've done it, it's finished, you heave a sigh of relief. Feel a shiver down your spine in anticipation of what's going to happen, that all-important job interview. A surge of adrenaline when you're just trying to get to the end of that marathon race or the last 50 meters rock climb, which is really steep. You get that surge of adrenaline. Or a burst of energy on that Saturday afternoon when you're sitting around not doing anything, and then you suddenly realize there are a few jobs to be done in the house. So a burst of energy will get you through it. To be in a state of euphoria, a very high state of excitement because of some really, really good news, engagement, the promotion, new job, whatever it might be. And then finally, that feeling of sheer bliss at the end of the week, a deep, long soak in a very hot bath. Okay, so all different ways, advanced collocations for you to describe positive emotions and positive feelings. They're quite difficult, so you won't remember them all. Try to pick 1 or 2 of them, practice them, as always, as I tell you, that's the drill. Practice, put them into some writing, try to use different examples than I've given you, and if you have any problems, then you come back to me, as always, www.englishlessonviaskype.com, and I'll help you out with some more examples. Okay, this is Harry thanking you for watching, thanking you for listening, and to remind you to join me for the next lesson.